This is The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. It is the second poem that we're going to be looking at. Remember, when we're looking at poetry, I want to remind you again that we're looking for repetition, alliteration, assonance, and rhyme. So remember when we looked at the introduction, the point of the way this is being written is supposed to be musical. We're supposed to be looking at it in a certain way so that when we say the words, it's supposed to sound like the typical and the specific bell we have. Hear the sledges with the bells, silver bells. What a world of merriment their melody foretells, how they tinkle, tinkle, tinkle in the icy air of night, while the stars that oversprinkle all the heavens seem to twinkle with a crystalline delight, keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme to the tintinnabulation that so musically wells from the bells, 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 from the jingling and the tinkling of the bells. Thing that we want to look at here, sledges. Think about it in terms of sleigh. Okay, so think about this specific kind here. As we're looking at it, we're having a specific thing in terms of silver bells. So the thing you want to look at in terms of silver, we know that they're sleigh. Silver sleigh bells. So where are these specific bells? What would they be on? Continuing down to part 2. Hear the mellow wedding bells, golden bells. What a world of happiness their harmony foretells. Through the balmy air of night, how they ring out their delight from the molten golden notes, and all in tune. What a liquid ditty floats to the turtle dove that listens while she gloats on the moon. Oh, from out the sounding cells, what a gush of euphony voluminously swells. How it swells, how it dwells on the future, how it tells of the rapture that impels to the swinging and the ringing of the bells, 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 of the bells, 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 to the ringing and the chiming of the bells. We've had a different kind here. We notice that we have golden here, and specifically wedding. Okay, so you're thinking about where are these bells located? Okay, they also think about the why. Okay, these ones are celebratory. These ones are telling of Christmas time. This one talks about melody, and this one talks about harmony. Continuing to part 3. He'll hear the loud alarum bells, brazen bells. What tale of terror now their turbulency tells? In the startled ear of night, how they scream out their affright, too much horrified to speak. They can only shriek, shriek, out of tune, in a clamorous appealing to the mercy of the fire, in a mad expostulation with the deaf and frantic fire, leaping higher, higher, with a desperate desire and a resolute endeavor, now to sit or never by the side of pale-faced moon. Oh, the bells, 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 what a tale their terror tells, of despair, how they clang and clash and roar, what a horror they outpour in the bosom of the palpitating air. Yet the ear, it fully knows by the twanging and the clanging how the danger ebbs and flows. Yes, the ear distinctly tells in the jangling and the wrangling how the danger sinks and swells by the sinking or the swelling in the anger of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, 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 in the clangor and the clangor of the bells. This is a different type of, okay? If we look at it here, what does it think you think it says? Instead of saying alarm bells, think of it in terms of an alarm. Okay, this is warning. What is the warning bell for? What is it warning of? Warning of what? I want you to highlight here what you think the bell is warning of. Yes, it's going to be the fire. Okay, this bell is going to be what kind of bell? This is a brazen bell. Okay, it's going to be brass. It's going to be loud. Okay, the previous bell, we had a celebratory bell. We had another one that was tinkling and was reminiscent of Christmas time. Instead, this one is a bell that is calling people to arms. Now, if something terrible is happening, how do we find out about it? Well, it's not the same way that they used to. Before, the only way that you would know about something happening is the town hall would have a bell and they would ring it. And now this bell is ringing differently than before because it is going on and on and on to tell everyone that something dangerous is happening. And the danger lies in the fire. So everyone needs to get together because these fires could take out an entire town very quickly if people did not help to put them out. Now we're looking at 4 here. Hear the tolling of the bells. We have iron bells this time. What a world of solemn thought their monody compels. In the silence of the night, how we shiver with affright at the melancholy meaning of the tone. For every sound that floats from the rust within their throats is a groan. And the people, the people, they that dwell up in the steeple all alone, and who toiling, toiling, toiling in that muffled monotone, feel a glory in so rolling on the human heart a stone. They are neither man nor woman, they are neither brute nor human, they are ghouls. And their king it is he who tolls, and he rolls, rolls, rolls a paean from the bells. And his merry bosom swells with the paean of the bells, and he dances and he yells, keeping time, 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 in a sort of runic rhyme to the paean of the bells, keeping time, 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 in a sort of runic rhyme to the bells, to the throbbing of the bells, bells, to the sobbing of the bells, keeping time, 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 as he knells, 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 in a happy runic rhyme to the rolling of the bells, 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 to the tolling of the bells, 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 to the moaning and the groaning of the bells. This is a different type. We have iron here. Okay, it's no longer pretty. We have this concept of ghouls here, this concept of a monotone, this concept of fear, something melancholy. I want you to think about what other type of bells might you have. What is this bell telling the people? If you look at it over and over, you see the ghouls, you hear melancholy, you hear solemn, okay, the speaker, okay, and we look like a monody, a poem in which the speaker mourns another's death. So yes, this is the funeral bells. So we have different types of bells here. And the bells are supposed to, when we hear the word bells, 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 when we hear this repetition, you're supposed to think of Dong, 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 dong. Okay, if it's monotony, you're going to hear it over and over again. Okay, you could hear that constant throb, okay, through the funeral bells. Whereas if you have an alarm bell, it'd be dong, 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 dong. Something fast, something to elicit a different type of reaction. Going to the next page and the questions. Okay, what you're going to be doing on this page is you're going to do the connect to the literature, which is going to be number 1 and the comprehension check. We want to do number 2. We want to do number 3. We want to do number 5. And then we want to do this literary analysis. You're going to want to do this on a separate sheet of paper, just like you did with Annabelle Lee, the reason being that you want to keep your packet together. Do not write in your packet other than your annotation.